YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Spice Glory back up in the building. And boy, oh boy, do we have a reaction today to look at. Um, so Adam22 is made an appearance on the Joe Budden podcast, and they get into a discussion. I'm sure there's many more pieces of content that we're going to miss, we haven't seen yet, that are just like crucial. But today we will be looking at a interesting one. It says Joe Budden presses Adam22 live on camera. So we're just gonna see what it's about. Let's go ahead and give it that look. Let's see what it's about. Hold on, man. Eh. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Okay, let's redo this again.
You going crazy here.
Which one? What's it say? Read it, man.
Read it,
I ain't reading.
The billionaire black.
I ain't reading it neither, yo. I'm up with energy and vibes and frequencies. Cool. I can't read. You read it. It's yours, nigga. You put it out.
Which one?
Any of them. Read that one right there. Hey, Alex, put the arrow above the one you wanted to read.
Oh, I didn't know you'd be on
that one right there. Yeah, that one right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one. I interviewed
that one.
I interviewed FBG Cash, and this was a clip from the interview. FBG Cash claims Lil Durk told him to take a photo at King Von's mural.
Rest in peace, King Von.
Rest in peace,
FBG Cash.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is like this is not just an isolated incident.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I see what they're trying to get at here. Okay, so they're about to get into a discussion about basically, is Adam22 a culture vulture? Yeah, I see where this is going. All right, so let's just get back to it.
Habitual.
Habitual. That's what he talked about in the interview. That's what he talked about.
That was it.
Not funny to me.
I mean, that's
not at all.
It's an important clip. It's an important thing to talk
about.
But
this is a microcosm of this business and what goes on and how some people look at black artists, black lives. Like, come on, Adam, you got a bigger responsibility than this as a multi-millionaire from fucking hip hop.
Truth bomb. I know all the guys. Listen, I know many guys from O Block, right? I've been there. I know these guys. I interview a bunch of them. I fuck with them. I fuck with the GDs as well. None of them have told me that they think these titles are in any way out of line, because to them it just seems like common sense. If you're going to interview these guys, of course you're going to talk about the shit that they actually talk about in their music.
Now you sound like a label head.
No, now I'm tight, kinda. I ain't gonna hold you. Think about this.
This interview came out. He had no complaints.
Just in general with hip hop media, man, nobody wants to hear a rapper. Nobody wants to go ask a rapper dull questions. Like, you want to get something that's interesting. That's why I can't I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think, and I'm gonna just use him as an example. I don't think somebody like DJ Vlad, for instance, right? They always say, "Oh, he's the feds, he's the police." But bro, when somebody like, when somebody like Vlad gets somebody to come in for an interview, there's a process that goes on, I'm sure. And in that process, I'm sure there's a point where he asks them, "Hey, is there anything I cannot ask you? Is there anything you don't want me to ask you?" Or even in the interview, like, "Hey, do you not want," like, if he asks a question, an artist has every right, and not even just rappers, but former mafia people, former somebody who's a former gangbanger, yada yada yada. It doesn't matter. They have every right to not answer a question. So what they're trying to get at here is, nah, bro. Like, what they're trying to get at here is kind of reaching. I ain't gonna lie. It's a little bit of reaching going on because let's just get back to it. I'm gonna give a full thing once this is pretty much over with.
None of the O Block
Adam,
guys had any complaints. You guys are so much more sensitive than the actual gang members.
You know why? Because we're in our 40s. Right. Stop.
And not wrapped up in this at all.
No, let me finish. No. He's saying we're more sensitive. Yeah. We're the young black people that are these kids' parents. These are our little brothers. These are our fucking nephews that are outside killing each other, and you white people are now interviewing them.
What about when they went? What about when he went on those music and dissed all his ops in the music so that I could then later ask him about it in interviews?
I would love to finish.
Finish.
He ain't making the money you are. You sitting there interviewing these black kids that are fucking killing each other and y'all monetizing it.
I don't know about that, Ish. I don't know about that because while you sit there and say that, oh, hey, white guys are monetizing off of black people's trauma, black neighborhoods and all this other stuff, we are all hypocrites. I'm gonna be honest with you. I could sit here and say I don't like listening to gangster rap. I don't like the things that 50 Cent has said in his music or Little Durk. And that's fair. But at the same time, I am gonna turn around and go listen to some gangster rap that I don't like. And Joe Budden has probably listened to somebody that has said something in their music that has to do with street violence. So it's the same thing with Ish. I'm sure Ish has listened to a rapper who has talked about an op. So that's hypocritical already right there. So in general, hip hop media is hypocritical. Because just because you don't believe, like I'm sure DJ Academics, you know, I'm gonna use an example. I'm gonna bring up an example later. I'm sure DJ Academics don't even be rocking with the violence that he hears in the rap music he has to cover. Maybe he doesn't like some of the violence that he hears in music. But does that mean he's not supposed to do his job? Duh, he has to do his job. He has to talk about and cover street stuff, even though he's not in street stuff at all. Same thing with all these dudes up here at the Joe Budden podcast. Some of the people at the Joe Budden podcast might have nothing to do with the streets, but I'm sure they have to look at, or even in some conscious way cover something that has to do with the streets.
That's not cool. I don't give a fuck what they talking about in they songs. Y'all are turning a profit off of this black trauma of them killing each other. Yeah, they the ones doing the killing because they young and they dumb and they don't fucking know no better. We 45 and 46 years old and we know better because these are our nephews. So they not your nephews, and that's why you don't see the Kevin Samuels shit in the same light that we see it, because you're a white dude and you don't understand what he is. Except Kevin Samuels was causing a black
drill rappers aren't worthy of being interviewed.
I'm not, bruh. You're not gonna spin my words. I'm sharp.
I mean, that's what I'm taking from what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I interviewed this dude and I asked him about his music and his content.
True. And what I'm telling you is he's 19, 20, 21 years old. He's going to give anything just to be on somebody's fucking camera and get some light shined on his project.
I interview rappers.
What I'm saying is he lost his life.
I interview rappers all the time.
These people are losing their lives, and you keep telling me about the business of.
And I interview them, and they don't.
They don't know
talk
no better.
About crazy shit. No, because they do know better. I'm telling you, most street rappers, when you interview them, are not going to say shit about their ops, or they're not going to. They're not going to whatever.
Older ones.
They're smart about it.
Older ones.
Smarter ones.
I don't think that's just. I don't think older street rap is subjugated to just older street rappers. I think if there's a. I think if the street rapper is smart enough, and they've watched interviews or seen certain interviews, they can put it in their mind that, hey, I'm not gonna say nothing that's gonna incriminate me, because most street rappers know that the feds are on the internet. The feds are on the internet. If you didn't know, the feds be looking at Instagram. With this newest RICO case with YSL, like, they took everything from the internet, bro. They took everything from Instagram, and they gonna use it against Young Thug. So of course, street rappers ain't gonna say nothing. Most street rappers who doing interviews now ain't gonna say nothing because they ain't trying to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, Ish over here trying to put it on just older street rappers. No, no. It's not. It's nothing like that. It's the younger ones too. The younger ones understand. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them.
He was someone, that's a normal word to me. He was someone who was more open about the people he was beefing with. Obviously, he's like Lil Durk's top op while he was living, right? And so he's talking about his problems with Lil Durk because that's a prominent theme in his music and stuff.
Stop. This ain't funny,
you
Parks.
hang out with people who
Stop,
say,
Parks. It's not funny,
okay,
Parks. Stop.
enemy. His enemy is a word that has been used for as long as time. Okay. He's talking about this stuff in his content, so I asked him about it during the interview because that's what a lot of his content is about. Of course, I want to know about the conflict that he has with one of the top rappers that he has beef with.
True.
How can I not ask these guys about the shit they're making music about?
You're not saying one wrong thing.
Right. Okay.
You are not saying one wrong thing.
What's the problem?
What I'm saying is I find it somewhat disturbing that somebody that is outside of what these boys endure on a day-to-day basis, interviewing them and monetizing it for your own personal gain when these kids are dying.
Now, like I said, we sitting here talking about ADAM22 and we forgetting that Joe Budden used to do a show with a guy named DJ Academics. DJ Academics used to run a YouTube page called The War in Chirac. DJ Academics is the furthest thing from a street nigga. So basically what you putting on him is the same thing you should have been putting on DJ Academics when he was there. Bro, it's not only white males like DJ Vlad and ADAM22 who be covering the streets and have nothing to do with the streets. It's niggas too who have nothing to do with the streets that be covering the streets. Come on now.
This is them and their family's trauma that you guys are monetizing to turn a fucking profit. And you're calling it journalism. That's not fucking journalism.
They're gaining from it as well.
No, they're not.
Yes, they do.
They're losing.
It's promoting his music career. There's a reason why these dudes, in particular, you got Ruga and FBG Cash on the screen. They both fly to Los Angeles to do an interview with me because it's promoting their career and their business that they're building for themselves. The fact that FBG Cash got into this random ass situation where his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend shot him or whatever the fuck it was. What does that have to do with anything? That's just some bullshit that happened after the fact.
Even the way you stop, Ice. Yo, you and your girlfriend, you said you and your...
I was just saying that to make it clear that he didn't die over some gang shit. Like, it's not like he got killed by a rival gang member that he talked about in my interview. He got into some totally separate shit.
Listen, you and your fiance were gonna... You said you guys got proposed to by somebody to do content.
Right.
You turned it down.
Right.
Why'd you turn it down?
Because we ultimately decided that we could do a fine job on our own.
Did you have black friends growing up?
No, time out. You found another way to monetize your content and cut them out.
Right.
You didn't need them.
Right.
They need you.
No.
You just said
that. I don't know about that one. I feel like it's just digging a hole in the ground and just, I don't know. I feel like a lot of this is just reaching. Like, would you do this? Like, would you be pressing like a black content creator? Like, for instance, would you be if y'all invited somebody like okay, let's just say Sean Cotton of Say Cheese TV. Would y'all be pressing Sean Cotton of Say Cheese TV the same way y'all are pressing ADAM22? I get it. He's a white guy, and he's the furthest thing from knowing anything about black American traumatic experience. But it's like, as I said, like I can even use an example like Q from World Star. Like, bro, I don't. I can just you can just go down the rabbit hole of things that has happened, like things that have been on his like radar or that have shown up on the World Star Hip Hop website, and it all has something to do with street shit.
You just said they hop on a plane
They
to
don't
LA.
need me. They want to do content and reach out to my
Because
audience.
you just said 2 sentences ago, my last question, that
FBG
they
Cash
both.
had videos with millions of views before anybody interviewed him.
I don't care. You just said that they profited and you profited. That's what you said.
It's a mutual relationship.
They don't know enough. It's like me taking a 17-year-old girl or
This
18.
is a grown man. He just did like 7 years in prison before he did this interview. How can you just
Do you
treat
know
him like
how-
a child and say, oh, he doesn't know enough?
Because mentally he's going on songs bragging about his fucking killings. That means he don't know
That seems like
enough.
an exaggeration. I don't know that he bragged about
Yeah.
killing anyone. He'd probably be in prison if that was the case. But he raps about street shit, right?
Ice.
They rap about street shit.
What I'm saying is this.
He keep a line.
He does. Everybody that's grown ain't grown mentally. You agree with that or no?
So you think I should
I'm
be
asking
doing
you a
like some
question.
sort of
I would love for you
intelligence
to-
evaluation? Should I
No.
give them like a
No.
quiz where
No.
I have to prove that their
I would-
IQ is high enough before
Well,
I
yeah, I
interview
think
them?
you should be doing that.
No,
but
he don't have to do that. What I'm asking you is, do you agree with me, yes or no, that every grown person in age is not necessarily the sharpest knife in the drawer mentally?
This is just a classic case of like two different types of media, two different types of hip hop media, like having a debate slash discussion, and really it's just like the guys that like for instance the guys like the Joe Budden podcast, they interview artists, and out of that you will never really hear the Joe Budden podcast go into like the spicy questions, the juicy questions that have to do with like let's just say they have like a street rapper on their platform. They'll never ask the street rapper about, hey, what do you think about the rivalry with your old neighborhood and this other neighborhood in your city? Like what's that about? They would never ask that because they more like they're a musical podcast. They're more basis on like the artists and how they prepare and what the artist has to go through every single day from a mental health standpoint to how they piece together songs and how they got this person on this song. That's what the Joe Budden podcast is all about. I'm not saying No Jumper is not that type of podcast, but they more primarily, and it's even more than that. Like they're more like they be interviewing street rappers, and most of the time they be asking the questions about like, hey, why you got beef with this neighborhood or why you got beef with this person, and then they just pretty much try to break down, hey, why do you have a problem with this person or that person. And then they also ask about, they also ask about music and everything like that. But it's more clickable when you can just like get an artist to talk about something they wouldn't usually talk about, or or try to get something exclusive that, hey, this artist is not gonna give to like a big platform like a Breakfast Club or like or if they're getting interviewed by the news. It's not something you would catch. It's not something you would catch them saying on these big media platforms. So yeah, like they can No Jumper be getting exclusives or getting artists to answer questions, and I believe that's part of the job. And there's and it's basically like the same thing as the news. The news be interviewing people. Sometimes they get actors or actresses to answer questions they probably are not gonna give another platform. So I believe he's doing his job as far as Adam22 is doing his job as far as I'm concerned. I mean, yeah, it is you know it is detrimental to what happens to the artist, but I don't personally believe it's always on the hip hop media or the journalists that are to be interviewing these artists. I don't necessarily all the way put that on them because at the end of the day, these folks got a job to do. Just like the Joe Budden podcast got a job to do, they got to talk about stuff that's maybe somebody, maybe an artist, maybe a movie star, maybe another podcaster is not going to respect, but it's their job and they got to do it. Same thing with DJ Academics. DJ Academics be talking about stuff that sometimes he don't got no business talking about, but it's his job. That's what he's supposed to do.
Do I agree that there's a range of intelligence?
Well,
Yes,
this
of
guy
course.
won't
Yeah,
answer.
sure.
Okay, cool.
Are there smart
Hey, he
people
doing
and
it,
are
Joe
there
Budden.
dumb people? Of course.
Hey, for him to have a problem with what I did up there,
Yo.
he ain't answering a fucking
Y'all
thing
bo-
up
y'all
there.
both-
There are
Y'all
smart
are
people
great.
and there are dumb people.
All right,
This
cool.
is easy.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So some people, would you agree also, are more easily manipulated than others?
Sure, yeah.
Cool. Okay. So in them doing this, they're coming on your platform because your platform is huge,
Okay.
right? So do you agree that them coming on your platform, you said it already, that it has a benefit for them as well as you?
Of course, yeah.
So do you also think that you are monetizing this black beef trauma shit that these boys are going through?
I mean, incidentally, yes, I am monetizing it because when we make content on YouTube, it's monetized by default. But that being
Incidentally.
said, this is content that the people clearly wanted to see. You see the view counts. These guys are popular. People want to hear from them. There's tons of other platforms interviewing them.
So that's your rule. If people want to see it, I'm putting it out. It don't matter about
Because
light.
his-
I mean, but
Black
you
all
realize
in the
I
name of
actually like
content.
this music.
Because-
You realize I listen to drill music, right? So these people are people I'm genuinely interested in meeting and having conversations
I get
with,
it.
and then I put it online.
get
Hold
it.
up, hold
Yo,
up. Let me, hold
dog.
on. Hey.
But you know what?
Hey. Wait. Because I say it all the time here about how that's not a fan. That's not a fan.
No, I actually listen to it. Like, actually,
Awesome.
that is the music I like the most in the world.
But
Same, but go
your
ahead, you finish.
your behavior and your train of thought isn't aligned with the well-being of these people. You just listening to
Give
songs.
two fucks.
Let me give you.
You
let me-
don't really
let me
give a
let me
you
give
don't
you-
you don't
care
really
about
give
their
a fuck
well-being.
about
Hold on.
any of these people.
Why? That's such an extreme leap for you to take.
No.
It's true.
Wait, stop.
Why?
Wait,
How?
stop. Well, let me read
How
some
do
of
I
your
not care?
shit.
These are people I interviewed and then continue to have relationships
FBG
with before
Cash
he's passed.
reacts to FBG Duck's mom. Like, you putting moms in this shit.
She dissed him.
What the fuck business
And you-
is that of yours?
She's a
No.
YouTuber. She's a whole personality out here.
Yo,
Everybody
dog.
knows
Oh,
her.
this guy's going
Even
crazy.
if-
She is.
I'm gonna give you an example.
This
Like
guy's going
you said,
crazy.
you listen to drill. They all know that's the narrative about me. That's all I listen to. Not true, but that's the narrative.
Okay.
We sat down with an artist from the South. I'm not even gonna say his name. Folks who are familiar with him know who he's beefing with. He's been beefing with. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah. Not once did we ask him anything about that.
Nope. And could
Had an entire amazing interview. Had an amazing interview.
You got a cookie?
Cookies?
chicken wings.
I don't think
Oh,
I
it's a
have
wing?
Did not ask him about that.
I mean, to be fair, if you interviewing a person now, if you interviewing a rapper who is in the midst of controversy, but they make great music, or a singer, or movie star, or actor, whatever, generally, you're gonna end up asking that person about said controversy, whether you like it or not. So yeah, they might be able to get through that. But I feel as though any other person in media is gonna end up asking these questions. As I stated before, the person being interviewed can say, "Hey, I don't want to talk about that." Right or wrong? or they could talk about it but not talk about it. You hear what I'm saying? Talk about it but not talk about it.
One time.
At all.
Right.
Because we're not trying to
you are
shed light on that. We're not trying to promote that.
You are promoting.
You are still an artist. There's more to you than that.
Right.
And
we don't need to sit there and clickbait that.
And that's the problem. We delved into who this kid is as a person, what he grew up and what he endured in growing up. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all care about what the people are gonna go to immediately.
What can we put out here to get clicks? Fuck what happens because of this. Fuck if anything comes back after this.
And this shit is detrimental to these boys evidently because they fucking dying and y'all could give two fucks about it because y'all turning a penny from it. Another weed is gonna grow right where that one grew.
That's my only.
When he dies, it's gonna be another fucking drill rapper to come take his place that we gonna interview and monetize as well.
To respond to that.
That's ugly,
and here's my issue. I ain't seen one BMX biker nigga up there yet.
They are.
He done left the BMX niggas, came to hip hop,
No Jumper
did
BMX,
this shit.
and you can find tons of BMX content that we make that incidentally.
Where's the
ends up on
BMX nigga that died? Where you went to his mom and said, "Yo, this nigga died. He got shot in the fucking head." His mom said, "Fuck these niggas over." Where's that from the niggas you fuck with, you little biker
I'm
niggas?
not aware of any sort of situation like that with BMX riders.
I know. And guess what? I don't see none of these BMX shits with no 600,000 and 700,000 views neither.
Yeah.
So it's more money in the nigga trauma. Come on, dog.
I mean, I interview rappers that I like, and then I ask them about
They just
problems that they have with other rappers that they are open about on records.
Joe Budden is just doing the same exact thing he used to do when he was at Everyday Struggle. Just working himself up and yelling and making assumptions and reaching for the farthest, biggest cloud he can and acting like, hey, this other stuff around me ain't around me.
Because what?
Because I'm interested and because I know that the fans are interested.
Because
what's with y'all's
the idea that's wrong when I'm basically just describing YouTube. You interview people and you ask them about the shit that people are actually interested in. You guys trying to somehow find a way to make this evil deed.
I'm asking about your fascination with black trauma.
I will give you that. This is impressive storytelling. You're adding this weird narrative to what I'm doing that I don't think is accurate at all.
Adam is up there. It's not us. We reading your shit.
But you're creating this narrative that I'm just doing this because that's like, I don't know, because I want to see these people die.
No.
You're doing
what they're
rapping about this shit because it's important to them, and then I ask them about it in interviews because it's important to them and people want to know.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think, like the example I gave you, do you think you could sit down with one of these artists, interview them about them?
Right.
Of course,
without the drama.
I do that all the time. A lot of people just don't say shit. You'll ask them, so what was this line in this song? Was that about so and so?
But that's not
what I said.
That's not what he said.
No, that's not what I said.
They're just not answering your question.
Can I do an interview in which I don't ask them anything interesting? Yes, of course. I think that's suboptimal. I'd rather do an interview that answers all the shit that the fans want to know.
Why you can't find something interesting without that?
Without death.
I think that's very interesting. Why does it have to go to death? You're just assuming that everyone
else. I truly believe that's the reason why the Joe Budden podcast don't be doing that much interviews with artists, is because they don't want to end up having to ask those important, serious, forget about sensational questions, forget about it being sensational, the juicy questions. I truly believe that's the reason why the Joe Budden podcast don't have artists on that much. Yeah, they be interviewing artists, but they be interviewing artists that, like, they know for real. Like, think about how many artists have been on the Joe Budden podcast. I can only count a crop of a few. Versus No Jumper that has interviewed a plethora of artists. Mostly and primarily in the area in which the whole entire company is based in, which is LA.
Dying
they
left
are
and right.
dying.
Most rappers who beef with each other do not die at the end of the beef. It's just fucking words. It's rap.
That's where you see, and that's the disconnect. These niggas are really dying. This ain't just rap beef.
Yeah.
He knows.
This is not rap beef. This is street beef with people that just so happen to.
I got some smoke for you.
Woo.
Rest in peace to the Godfather, Kevin Samuels.
Rest in peace.
I don't like what you did after he died.
What?
It's disgusting.
What, re-uploading?
I will say that the drill, the whole thing with drill and drill rappers, you know, passing away and everything like that due to, you know, beef. I do believe that is an epidemic that is happening in the drill, you know, genre, subgenre, or whatever. I do believe that is something that is happening, you know, and just street rap in general. Of course, that's happening. Of course, people rappers are passing away due to beef or whatever is happening. But that's just in general. That's a normal thing. That's not just something that just started happening years ago or something like that. That's been a thing. That's been a thing in modern rap for like probably a decade. It's nothing new in my opinion. They just trying to like latch something on to him. I ain't gonna lie. And also the whole entire thing with like it being a whole what is it called? Like the whole exploitation thing after a rapper passes away. I will put blame on DJ Vlad. Vlad does that. Vlad does that whole flashback thing when somebody passes away. Like it's like, bro, I will say that he does give out this exploitation vibe when a rapper passes away.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
What'd he do?
The nastiest performance I've ever seen.
What?
Why do y'all do that?
It's an insane position for somebody in media to hold.
Please.
What is your job as a content creator? Your job is to make content and get that content out to the people who want to see it.
False.
Somebody dies, there is a huge demand for that content. You re-upload it. People see it on their subscription feed. They click on it because this is a very talked about thing. People are literally mourning.
I can't even listen to this.
What is the part?
That is disgusting.
Give me a coherent argument against re-uploading content when that person is extremely newsworthy.
Take it away, please.
I gotta ask him.
Yeah.
Was the content in a negative connotation or no?
No.
What was your take on it?
No, I won't say.
That does sound nasty.
I won't say.
I can see that.
Nah, that's what I was asking. I wanted to clarify because I didn't.
Nah, he didn't slander his name.
Of course
he just re-uploaded everything in the world that he had on Kevin Samuels in the moment that he died.
We had never even done clips from that interview, so I think we clipped a bunch.
Until you found a good time to do it. Yeah, well. That sounds disgusting to me.
You had a Kevin Samuels interview.
We had already done it. We didn't do clips at that time. We started a clips channel after that. We went hard with the clips from that interview. Like, after he passed, we had never done the clips before.
How soon after he passed?
I don't know.
Shit,
next
an
day,
hour.
Yeah.
1 hour.
Probably, yeah.
It was nasty, Adam.
What is the nasty part about it?
The nastiness is you are trying to capitalize off of somebody else's demise before his family even had an opportunity to.
How am I trying to capitalize on it? I want the people who are sad about his passing to have the content that they want to see.
Then turn off monetization.
Hey, if you turn off monetization, you're gonna stop.
Bro, the first time somebody, how does Joe Budden know that the first time somebody found out about Kevin Samuels wasn't through a No Jumper interview? The No Jumper interview that he did. What about your interview with him, Joe Budden? How do we know? How do you know that the first time somebody is introduced or knowing about Kevin Samuels isn't through your interview with him? I mean, y'all might have not done no clips for it, but come on, bro. It's not even that serious.
Stop it from spreading on the platform.
Stop it, Adam.
You know it's true. You're a YouTuber. You know it.
Stop it.
Every YouTuber out there knows I'm telling the truth.
Is that why you did that?
Stop.
Because I thought that people. Yeah. The whole thing with making this content. If I do a Joe Budden,
I'm going to market this off.
Is it nice that I made a bunch of money off?
Say what you're saying the right way, because I'm going to upload this.
Is it nice? Good. Is it nice that I made? Did I interview you for money? No, but I made, let's say, $10,000 off of AdSense when I interviewed you. Did I interview you for money? No.
I'm not
Is
dead.
the $10,000 very nice?
But
I'm not dead.
It's different when
I'm not dead.
Oh shit, he passed.
Stop it, Adam. I'm not dead.
How does the death change that?
A big.
Because had he not passed, you wouldn't have uploaded that like that.
Had there not been a giant swell of interest in this guy because he passed, then I wouldn't have uploaded. But
I think it's different. I think and this is a thing that always happens in rap music. Whenever somebody passes away, it's always a thing of like, it's always a crop of people who have never heard of a said rapper or said entertainer or whatever, and it's like immediately after whatever person passes away, people go back and decide to explore this person, whether it be through their music, whether it be through their movies, whether it be through whatever. That's honestly, once again, that's a normal thing. That's a normal thing that happens, and you cannot place blame on this ADAM22 guy for that. That's just the way this society is structured. It's always gonna end up being a thing where somebody discovers somebody after they pass. Like, that's just the way the world is, unfortunately.
You just answered your question.
I would have uploaded those clips either way. Yes, but the interest,
Then why you
the
didn't?
fact that the audience wants to see it is the reason to upload it.
No,
Do
the
I make
audience
money?
is searching. The
Do I
audience
make
is searching
money?
his
Sure.
name, and it's like, you know what? If they're gonna search his name, let me attach to that.
That's
They're not
exactly,
necessarily
yes.
going to look for.
Why?
Let
They're
me go see what
searching
clips
his
are
name.
out there.
The fact that they're
He's
searching
trending.
his name
is
why
trending,
it's
and let me attach
logical
to it.
do it.
His name is trending. Let me attach to it.
Yes, let
So
me
that's
give
what
the fans
that's
what they
saying
want.
something different.
No, that's why
That's
it's
saying something totally
illogical to do
Why,
it.
when someone dies, do we act like people only make content to make money? It's not true. I want it to entertain the audience.
You
I
had
wanna
the
show them
content
something
already.
meaningful.
You had the content
That's why.
already.
Right.
That's
yeah.
why. That's
we,
the
we
difference.
hadn't got around to uploading it, and then he passed. I'm like, fuck, we got to upload it.
Of course.
And that's what we're saying
that's-
to you.
yeah.
That is what we're saying to
I
you.
just,
That
I don't think it's sinister. I don't see what's wrong with it.
How do you not? I don't know.
I
how,
don't get it. It
There's
hasn't been explained
there's
well
a
enough.
difference between sinister and something in between. There's something between sinister and innocent.
That's fair.
That exists.
That's true.
There's being a capitalist, which is
Yeah.
obviously a factor. Sure.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to make money off
That
it.
is
Okay.
capitalism.
But even if it's...
Yo,
like,
yo,
what am
pull
I
up
gonna
the
make?
definition for sinister so I make sure I know what I'm saying. 'Cause they get me with that a lot.
Let's
I want
say
to be
we got
clear.
1 million extra views from re-uploading all those kind of Samuel's clips.
Sinister. Giving the impression that something harmful or evil is happening or will happen. That was sinister.
You think...
So while he sits here and tries to expose ADAM22 as this sort of capitalist, which I don't think it even matters, because at the end of the day, all these people sitting up here besides ADAM22 are all capitalists themselves, because they have to create content, and people have to find interest in some of that stuff, and they have to make it clickable. So Joe Budden and everybody who works at the Joe Budden podcast is no better than this white man ADAM22 right here. That's just it. This interview seems like it's a lot of like putting him right in the middle and just like hurling insults and trying to make him take accountability for things that have been around before he was even in media. So I'm gonna just stop it right there. This is already a long video. What did y'all think? What should I react to next? And I'm out.